So do you think we're living in God's plan right now? Hell no. Hell no. So, God's plan has no fear in it, right? God's all love, right? So how come we come in to this world in this state of fear and confusion? What happened along the way? We fell for all these lies, right? The first lie we went over last week, what was that?
You're separate.
I am not God. I am not infinite. I am not love. I'm not any of these things. That's the first lie. The second lie is that God created all this. And that I create what God didn't create. That's the second lie. So I came into some realizations as I studied for this. Thinking, well, yeah, I'm creating my reality. But I'm creating it from a lie. I'm creating it from not understanding how the universe works, right? We have to understand how the universe works. What are the laws of the universe? How do we create? How do we miscreate? These are questions and understandings that we have to come into so we understand that this is not God's world that's been created here. And it's not the world that we have created. We just do not understand because we have taken the lie into our consciousness and we have believed it. And so we've created fear. Fear comes from the idea of a lack of understanding. If we understood that I am God, I am infinite, I am love, if we knew that without a doubt, we wouldn't have to have fear, right? The fear is because we don't understand. We don't get it. Why is this happening? If God is all love, I remember being this little Catholic girl. You know, going to Mass. Every morning you had to go to Mass. Every single morning. And you had to listen to, if I didn't do God's will, I was going to rot in hell. Right? So we created this matrix that we receive all this fear, all this miscreations, misunderstanding, and that's where we pull all that down from. We are responsible to change the matrix, right? We can change that by remembering, reestablishing, rediscovering the truth. We can get rid of the lie and know this is truth. And what happens with a lie? You have to justify it, right? You have to constantly be justifying a lie. And so that's what we do. We have the lie that I'm not infinite, I'm not God, I'm not love. So I go through my whole life justifying that I am not that. Make sense? Yes. So here, that's where fear comes from, not from God. So let's go into our revealing word and let's look at some more definitions here.
What is that book again, please?
This is the revealing word. Okay. It's a metaphysical dictionary. Metaphysical thing. So let's look at the word fear. Painful emotion marked by alarm, dread, disquiet. Now that's Webster's definition. Fear is one of the most subtle and destructive errors that the carnal mind in man experiences. Fear is a paralyzer of mental action. It weakens both mind and body. Fear throws dust in our eyes and hides the mighty spiritual forces that are always with us. Blessed are those who deny ignorance and fear and affirm the presence and power of spirit. And it's that simple. So, how do we overcome fear? That's in here too. Fear, how to overcome. Fear is cast out by perfect love. Pretty simple, huh? So if you could say, I am God, I am love, I'm infinite, you would cast out fear in the blink of an eye. Not just saying it, but knowing it. Boom, you would cast it out. To know divine love is to be selfless. And to be selfless is to be without fear. The God-conscious person is filled with quietness and confidence. Yes. So, let's look at what's metaphysical definition of God. God is that from which all love springs. His character is taught in the name Father, representing love, protection, and providing care of God for man, his offspring. He is life and love and wisdom and power and strength and substance. So there's only one presence and one power active in the universe, right? So when I read this is you, representing love, protection, providing care. This is you. You are that God. You are life, you are love, you are wisdom, power, strength, and substance. This is you. Right? Anybody not believe that? No? Whoa, the energy is very low today. Everybody sleeping? Okay, we'll move on. All right. I am finite and infinite. And I love this. I'm craziness mixed with emptiness. That says it. I like that better than that. That says it all. Because when we come in to an understanding that we are infinite, no ending, no beginning. Finite means you have a beginning and an ending, right? Infinite means no ending, no beginning.
So this is one thing I've gathered here lately from all the downloads and everything I've been getting. Everything's a freaking contradiction.
Yes.
Everything is a walking contradiction. And it has blown my mind. Just when I think I'm like on the tip of getting something figured out, and you're not. You're not
Yes.
going to figure it out.
Yes.
If you think for 1 second you know it all, you don't.
No, you will never know it
You will
all.
never know.
There's
You're
no way
exactly
you
right.
can know it all.
No.
And that's why when I do these talks, like, I evolved through this talk because some of the ideas that I held to be true got bashed. And that's okay, because I resonated with the new idea. Now, say I didn't resonate with the new thought, the new idea. Well, I'd probably let it go. If I needed to resonate with it, it'd come back around when I was ready. I don't need it now. It'll come back around. But yeah, so I'm always evolving. We're always evolving. So when I learn, I just share it with you guys. Yeah. And that was
Maybe
just
we're
something
all
I learned last night, you know.
Maybe we're all just absorbing this morning, the things that
There you
we
go.
need to,
Good. That's good.
Good save.
All right. Huh?
Good save.
Good
That's
stuff.
why I'm in the front row.
That's right. I like those front row people.
Doesn't matter what they.
Oh,
What'd you say?
he said, is that the bad road there?
Oh.
The misbehaving road? No, I'm a perfect angel.
No, so like what I love about this, I'm craziness mixed with emptiness. Don't you feel when you start to shift and you start coming into the understanding that I'm God, I'm love, and I'm infinite, don't you feel a little crazy?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm a lot crazy. Being
A
honest.
lot crazy, yeah.
Especially if you're worried about other people's perceptions, you're really going to look crazy.
Yes, yes.
Because they don't understand it. But,
Yeah, I'll just name my bumpers sticker.
What's your bumper sticker say?
I'm not crazy, my reality is just different than yours.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Say that again.
I'm not crazy, my reality is just
It's
different
different
than
than
yours.
yours.
Yep,
Perfect. Yeah.
High five.
yep.
We are unique. We are individualized expressions of all that is.
Yes.
If we all were the same, thought the same, believed the same, talked the same, yuck, how boring would that be?
Maybe pretty boring.
Yeah, yeah. So we're unique, every single fiber of us. So, all right, so let's look at infinite, that which embraces all, the totality of being, capital B, including all knowledge, all space, all life, the complete all. That which was from the beginning is now and ever shall be, without end or limitation. It is that which is boundless, immeasurable, inexhaustible. God is infinite and eternal. And so that means so are you. Right? Yes.
A lot of what you're reading, I listened to a philosopher named Alan Watts, He
Yes,
talks
I
about
know
me
who that
about,
is, yes.
I'm like in the shower, if I'm driving and whatnot, I always listen to him, and I think, like, that sounded really familiar to some of the stuff that, you know, from his teachings. So if anyone ever is interested, like, you can't sit down and read a book if you're busy, if you want something in the background, I would definitely recommend looking up.
Yeah, he's
Thomas
very
Watts.
good. I like
He's
him.
an awesome philosopher,
Yes.
he's got some really good valid points.
Yes.
Very well educated, so.
Mhm. Very, very good. Okay.
Did you finish?
Okay, a little touchy there, wasn't it? God's will. So this is one thing with God's will that I came into the understanding of is that God's will is my will. God wants what I want for me. Just happiness, love, peace, harmony. That's all God wants for us. That's all. That's all. And it's not that God even wants it. It's all there is. It's all there is.
Go up, Lisa.
Yeah, it's like that words came out of my mouth. I'm like, boy, that just did not feel right at all. It's all there is, okay? So, purpose. We have come here in purpose, in mission. Why have we come here? Those are our big questions in life. Who am I? Where did I come from? What am I supposed to be doing here? And we have all those answers. But because of the lack of understanding, and due to the lack of understanding, the fear that is generated from the lack of understanding, we come in confused. And we just become this robot, right? We just become a programmed vehicle instead of a vehicle of power. So, what is my purpose? Only you know that. Only you know that. And it is through your heart that you will discover that. But you have a purpose, every single one of you. And it doesn't have to be this big, profound thing that you have to do in the world. Your first purpose is to love yourself. All of us have come here to love ourselves in a world that doesn't comprehend or understand true love. So we have to uncover that for ourselves because it is who we are, what we are, why we're here, right?
Unconditionally.
Unconditionally, yes. Thanks, Virgie. Yes. So, how do we get to our purpose? Desire. What do you desire? Do you desire to get up and go to a job you hate every day? Do you desire to hang around people who cool your energy and make you feel less than? What's your desire in life? That's how you find your purpose, by what you're desiring. You're energetic. You're an energetic being. Whatever your energy is excited about, that's your desire. That will guide you to your purpose, right? Yes. Permission. Give yourself permission. We really have to do that with ourselves. Hey, it's okay for you to feel love. It's okay for you to give love. It's okay for you to live in purpose. It's okay for you to go against what you've been taught. It's okay for you not to look like everybody else out there going to work in their little vehicles at a job they can't stand. It's okay that you don't feel that way. Okay? Give yourself permission to desire what your purpose is as a spiritual being. That's God's will. Very simple. So angels are among us. So we're going to go to back to this book here. This talk is actually on the last part of this book, and this was channeled. The part I read was channeled by Archangel Michael. So who's Archangel Michael? Why should we listen to him? Well, what does it say about angels? Angels, a messenger of God, the projection into consciousness of a spiritual idea direct from the fountainhead. And there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord standing on the right side of the altar, Luke 1:11. The word of truth, in which is centered the power of God to overcome all limited beliefs and conditions. Angels. Do y'all believe in angels?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So, let's look at what Michael is. And this is another good book. is your Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. This has all the terms in the Bible, the cities, the cultures, any word that you want to know what the metaphysical meaning is. And that's how we interpret the Bible metaphysically. So Michael, who is like unto God, who is like God, who is simulated of God, God-like, who is like expanding power. Metaphysically, divine inspiration and a realization of the all-conquering power of God. Also, a godlike or perfect state of being. So wow, you want to get your information from something like that? An energy like that? I do. All right? Okay, so I took his words. And again, if it resonates with you, that's fine. And if it doesn't, that's fine too. Okay? So, I'm going to dive into the last part of this book. And he goes into Adam and Eve, the Garden of Eden. So, let's look at the Garden of Eden's metaphysical interpretation. We got an interpretation for everything. Represents a region of being in which are provided all primal ideas for the production of the beautiful, the elemental life and intelligence placed at the disposal of man through which he is to evolve. Man's body temple is the outer expression of the Garden of Eden. God gave it to man to dress it and to keep it. Man's primary work in the earthly consciousness is to use this creative power to preserve harmony and order in his world and to conserve this power of divine direction. Ooh. So the Garden of Eden is where we were intentionally meant to live. Right? This is a metaphor. We do not look at this literally here at Unity. We look at it as a metaphor. And the Bible to us is an evolution of the consciousness of man. So in the beginning, we came, we knew we were God, we knew we were love, we knew we were infinite. And we lived in this beautiful Garden of Eden. So let's look at what happens when Adam comes in. What does Adam represent? The first movement of mind in its contact with life and substance. Adam was created from the dust of the ground. Dust represents the radiant earth or substance. When spiritual man, I am, enters into this substance and makes use of the God idea inherent in him, he brings forth the ideal body in its element perfection. Adam was first perfect, has an idea in elemental divinity. So this is what Adam was meant to represent. This was the beginning. He was to stand in that. But what happened? So let's look at what the man Adam, the human physical man, represents. Unregenerated sense man, Antichrist, the man who has fallen away from spirituality. Originally, Adam was the spiritually illumined man of God. The Adam man was primitively identified with an infinite capacity for expansion. When he recognized his identity as spiritual, he expands in divine order and brings forth only good. So, what caused Adam? What were the ills of the man Adam? The many ills of Adam man grew out of his belief that he could satisfy and nurture himself with material food and drink alone. To feed the body is not enough. The spiritual man hungers for the bread of life and thirsts for living water, even the word of God. So, again, you see where man came in and made a decision, made a choice, right? We always have choices. Made the choice that he could do it on his own. I'll eat and drink and I'll take care of myself. Totally disconnected from God. So what did that create? Separation. So now we're separated. So because there's only one presence and one power, what is this separation that we live in? It's not real. It can't be real. The real world is love, is infinite. So we've created an illusion that we live in. Are you having these experiences? Sure, you're having these experiences, but are they real? They're not of the real world, no. They're just an illusion that you're living in. Okay? So do you all understand that concept? Okay. Don't want to move further until you do. Okay. So we have in our duality world, we have separation. But in God's world, we have two poles that come together that are part of creativity. You have your positive and your negative poles that are magnets. You have your yin, your yang. You have your feminine and your masculine. Okay? Those are not separate. They work together. One can't be without the other. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So, then you have the tree of knowledge that says that there's good and evil. Do you want to eat from the tree of knowledge? Right there. Good and evil. What is that? Duality. Does it exist? No? No. So even the idea that they felt, well, I am not infinite, I am not God, I am not love, I need this knowledge, and I need to actually know not just the good of it, but I need to know the evil of it. Bad decision, huh? Well, that's a decision we make every day. Every day by what we choose. Either the good, the bad, negative, the positive. And this is the same choice that's been going on from the beginning in this illusionary world of the finite. It does not exist. Okay? It is not real. Then you have the serpent. What's this little guy have to say here? Where did it go? Serpent. Sense consciousness or the desire of unspiritualized man for sensation.
Again,
Oh, that's
Again.
a lot of alliteration there.
again, please.
Okay. Sense consciousness or the desire of unspiritualized man for sensation. He seeks satisfaction through the appetites. So he no longer is he seeking through his heart, but he's seeking through his senses and through his appetites, outside of himself, no longer outside of himself. By listening to the serpent of sense, man falls to his lowest state. So that's the state that we have been in because of that decision and the decisions that we make every day. All right? So do we understand the Garden of Eden story and what that represents? It's a metaphor. We don't take it literal, but it has significant understanding as to why we are here, why we're in this illusion, and why this is not our real world. Okay? Okay. So, then he goes on to talk about channeling and our higher self. And what I want you to understand about channeling is that the language, the reason we receive it's not outside of ourselves, it's an aspect of ourselves because there's only one presence, okay? But the language that humans use we do not have the capability to express from a place of the highest wisdom, the highest love, and the highest light. Because we have a limited vocabulary, and our vocabulary exists because of what we already have experienced, right? So we can't even talk about something without the experience of it. So when we receive from a higher aspect of ourselves, it's filled with wisdom and understanding, and all those things that the humanness can block us from. So as we remove the blocks, we remove the layers that keep us from our wisdom, this innate wisdom that we are, then we're able to hear those aspects of ourself. They're all aspects of ourself because of our oneness. There's no separation, right? Your higher self is you. It's still you, but it just is coming from a higher frequency, a higher place of wisdom and understanding. So it's important. That's why we've worked all last year. We worked so much on releasing, getting rid of blocks, getting rid of anything that doesn't serve our higher good, that's keeping us in this lower vibrational frequency. We worked on all that last year, right? So this year now, it is time to open ourselves to the understanding that I can tap into anything because I'm infinite, because I'm God, because I'm love, and that's what all that is too. So all I got to do is clear myself and be open and ready to receive it. Boom.
Boom, just like that.
Boom. And it happens that fast.
Yeah, it does.
Just a few months ago, I couldn't do any of this stuff. Now I'm doing all of it. So, in the blink of an eye, and it was because I cleared myself out, I started to get where I could actually see pieces falling away from me, and I got to a place where I just became very light. And I don't mean light in weight, I mean light, like a light body. I knew my light. And so I was able to connect, I'm able to connect with light now, because that's all there is. It's so simple. We make it so difficult. So does anybody have a question about this? Understanding who and what your higher self is? And
Well, what helped me to be able to connect better to my higher self, because I had those walks as well, was beneficial to me was doing a, we actually don't have just 7 chakras, by the way.
yes,
We actually have 12.
yes.
But I'm only to the 10th now. I haven't worked myself to the 12th to do like that meditation yet. But I did an 8th chakra meditation. That's to connect you to your higher self and your Akashic records and however you say that. With the 8th chakra meditation, that helps you to open that up so you are able to connect with your higher self.
Yes.
So,
But I just want you to understand that there's no separation in any of this. And I think that's where people get into so much difficulty, because they think that, you know, there's something separate from them and they're the one that hold the key to it all. No, we all hold the key to it all, and that's just that we are God, that we're love, that we're infinite. And all we have to do is know that, and in the knowing, we receive it all. Okay, you will see in the world what you carry in your heart. This is what it is all about. What does your world look like outside of you? You still experiencing confusion and conflict? What does it look like? Because that's your indication to let you know what's going on inside of you. Is your world loving today, peaceful today? Do you feel harmony with others? Do you find joy in what you do every day? Go to your heart. It is so intelligent. It is connected to all there is. And it's going to be the only place that you're going to want to hang out in this world, especially now, because of what our senses are seeing out here. And in doing so, when you hang out in your heart, you're going to shift what's going on out here. And that's the only thing we need to be doing right now. Staying connected to our heart, knowing and understanding these lies. They're not true. They're lies and they're not true, and we don't need to justify them anymore. And Archangel Michael says, don't tolerate it anymore. That's why I got a little like, you know, we're not going to tolerate this anymore, right? No. So coming to the silence of solitude and the vibration there will talk to you through the voice of God. And this is all there is, this now moment. If we could just be here right now We are connected. No separation, total and complete connection with God. We're not in our past, we're not in our future. And as the Lightworkers, and this book was called A Guide for Lightworkers, that's where we go to stay in touch with our light through meditation. So I want to finish up here with, what is God's will? God's will is always perfection and all good for all his children. Perfect health in mind and body. Abundance of every good thing, including joy, peace, wisdom, and eternal life. He does not will suffering or imperfection in any form. Any form. No. N-O. The belief that God wills both good and evil is false. The belief that God wills both good and evil is false. Got it? So when you hear all these people talking about all this evil stuff, remember that. You don't have to tell them they're wrong. All you have to do is hold that in your consciousness to know it is all good. The truth is that God is all good, and only good can come to man from him. If man experiences error and inharmony, he brings them upon himself by his failure to harmonize his thoughts, words, and acts with the Lord or divine law. Yes. So I want to give you one more definition here. I'm trying to get you all accustomed to Unity's language and what these terms mean as you are Unity students. Universe, the total of all that is. It was first expressed as an idea in divine mind and later made manifest. That is, it became visible to the five senses by means of the creative power of the Word. Okay. So do you have any questions about the lies? Do you still believe the lies? Huh?
Depends on what day of the week it is.
Oh. Okay. Well, today is Sunday, and we're not going to believe the lies, and we're not going to justify them. Okay. So, I want to read this beautiful epilogue that Archangel Michael gave us. And as we go into our meditation, let's just get settled in our seats, get comfortable. We want to get into a relaxed state of mind. And again, as you go into meditation, what in you is maybe rejecting some of what I just said today? What in you is keeping you from understanding how the universe works? What in you is saying that I am not God? What in you is saying I am not love? What in you is saying I am not infinite? Something comes up, let's get that out of you. Let's release that, and let's affirm the truth that I am God, I am love, and I am infinite. Okay? So meditation, you want to always have your spine straight so that the energy flows as we connect to Mother Earth. Flows up through you, has you to your heart. And take some deep cleansing breaths to center you in this moment of this beautiful sacred now. Beloved friends of Earth, and this is coming from Archangel Michael and his beloved angels. We are here to aid you, and forever have we loved you from afar. Be not in distress as you witness your planetary sphere seeming to fail all around you. Your real planet Earth, the paradise that you seek, awaits. Come home. Come home and witness the truth of who you are. Sit, the infallible joy of the real universe that lives in love. See this. Awaken from your millennium-old slumber. Awaken from your dream of death and destruction, none of which truly exists. Call upon us whenever you need reminding. Call on us whenever you need love. We are your inter-universal friends and comrades. We are here for you, to the light, forever and ever. Our eternal blessings are yours to keep. We adore you. We adore who you are. We adore why you are here. Beloved ones, we await you. Archangel Michael and his beloved angels. So now we'll go into our meditation. Enjoy.